intelligencesquared.com.
I think fashion, makes a fool of all of us. Fashion is, it's the compulsive buying of things we don't need with money we don't have to impress people we don't either know or don't like. All the craze for footless tights. Footless tights? What's next? Footless socks? You end up with just a little band of fabric around your ankle. Fashion victim advice, and my advice would be this. Recognize that fashion is trivial and ignore it. Any enterprise requiring new clothes is an enterprise which needs to be reassessed.
What about the poor compulsive spender? In spite of newspapers forecasting our fall into the abyss of financial meltdown, we are still spending. If we're going down looking good.
To give you a specific example of one of the greatest working women in the whole world, in my view, is Margaret Thatcher. She was quoted in 1985 in Vogue magazine for saying, "The essence of the well-dressed woman should never be exaggerated." She said, "Appearance is the first impression people get of you, and it does matter."
The clothes, the very design of the clothes, whether this is intentional or not, whether they sit round a whiteboard in these fashion houses and actually think, how are the clothes going to help this situation? And what they do often is they put a kind of gimmick on that's very noticeable, a certain sort of neckline, a certain sort of fabric, a certain reference that is very upfront, and you see it. That buckle is, and then you know that will be so on trend, that buckle, and everybody will hype that buckle on that it bag or wherever it is. But of course it will also be immediately identifiable when you're walking down that street with that bag with that buckle on it. Everybody will say, "That's last year's buckle." The world's biggest industry really seems to be set up to make you dissatisfied with what you've just bought. They may worry about looking ridiculous, but I can tell you a little tip to anybody here. If you want to become interesting in your clothes, well, you've got to throw that idea straight out the window. But it's better than, I feel that looking ridiculous is better than looking like a wag clone.
I am very, very happy that a team of sociologists at the University of Stockholm have proven what billions of women and actually some men already know. Retail therapy, it works. It works really well.
The difficulty is that while the idea of beauty has become democratized and extended to all, the ideal of beauty has been narrowed and become restricted. We can say, not that fashion maketh the woman, but fashion unmaketh her. If we need a new outfit to be at the top of our game, Britt, then our game is all wrong.
It's armour. It's a disguise for the gibbering wreck that I am underneath and hoping to project to you a competent public speaker. This is what fashion is doing for me tonight, a fantastically worthwhile job.
And that's a real Oscar de la Renta dress, like what we've heard about in the magazine.
Darling, it's pre-collection, autumn-winter 2010.
It's lovely.
Fashion maketh women stupidly robotic, or what? And I don't think if it does, it shouldn't. The way I oppose the motion is that it confirms every dim prejudice about women. Credulous creatures trapped in a cycle of deceit, waste, avarice, vanity, and cupidity. If you want to know what God thinks about fashion, just look at Anna Wintour.